I'm ready.
What's going on, guys? My name's Matt. This is
Jason.
Welcome to the Mint Condition. Today I'm really excited to talk about something that we actually get asked all the time, which is when is it the right time to rebuild my site?
Yeah, and without being too pointed, I mean, for anything that you are looking to do for yourself, for your business, for growth in general, the answer is almost always now.
Today.
Almost always.
Yeah, because if it's in your mind, you're definitely interested in it and you know it's going to help you go forward. But the question might not be when should I get started, but the question might really be why would I do it? I think I should do it.
Yeah.
I'm being told I should do it, but I don't really understand why I should do it. And so there's a couple ways to look at this. You know, there's the idea of a total rebrand or a rebuild, which is, you know, I actually like thinking about this in terms of like a block castle. I know it sounds crazy, but think about it this way.
All right.
A rebrand or a rebuild is kind of like, you know, maybe you already have a castle built in blocks, and you just swipe that thing away, get it off of there, and you hire our team to design what you want this castle to look like. And how deep it goes, how wide it is, how tall it is, all that stuff. And we do that based off of the goals of your company, what you're looking to achieve, what type of company it is, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then we actually design it so you can visualize what those blocks look like.
Yeah.
And then finally we develop it, laying the foundation first and then building up and building outwards and wide.
Yeah.
So that's a rebrand. It's clearly doing everything over again and starting from scratch and building. And we'll get into why that's important.
Yeah.
But I want to touch on the other one because there's another aspect of this that most people don't realize, and that's kind of the longer game, which is, you know, adding to your site or your castle over time. And so you might already have this castle, or maybe even better, maybe it's a house.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a house right now. It's built. You have blocks built as a house, and you're like, man, I really want a new homepage that exemplifies who we are as a business. You know, we talked about this last week. The way, like your company culture should be shown in your website.
Yes.
So maybe you're like, hey, I want to take out this window and add in, you know, a bigger window and make it look even better. And I want to take out this door and add in, you know, maybe we're building this up to be a castle. So I want to take out this door and add in one of those cool like drawstring bridges or whatever.
Yeah.
And so you're really improving it over time. And in the long run, as we keep adding things in and building up, your house is now built to exemplify a castle.
Yeah, I have actually never heard you use that analogy before, but I'll tell you why I like it. I've always viewed websites as shops, right? I do a lot of, don't really want to take you guys to a weird mental space, but I do think a lot about like how much different is life today than it was in, say, the colonial times. And a lot of the times my answer is not that much. But yeah, some big things happen. We don't sleep on beds of straw, and we don't churn our own butter, most of us. We don't do a lot of those things that they did back then. But they did open up shops. They did put up signs. They did do all of these things that you'd find in the downtown of whatever town that you live in now, even though it's been modernized. But that is the digital world today. Your website is you putting up a shop, and you doing SEO, that's you promoting your new shop in town, trying to get people to come check it out and eventually do business with you.
Yeah, it's really kind of more like a bulletin board in the middle of town.
1000%.
You know, you put up all your information. Hey, I make swords or whatever, and so someone's walking by like, I want to make a sword. Oh, this guy makes swords.
Yeah,
let me go see him.
For sure.
Yep.
The reason I like this analogy so much, though, is because I try not to say this very often, but I believe personally that rebrands are better than fresh sites. Not so much better, but they are better.
Wait, pause. Rebrands are better than fresh sites? What does that mean?
I'm glad you asked. I believe that they're better because a fresh site or a first site is great because you've got these dreams, you've got these ideas, and you know what you want, and you're ready to get started, and so are we, right? We want to take those dreams. We maybe even want to amplify them. Maybe we don't think you're dreaming big enough. So we'll give you some guidance, some strategies, some ideas for you to brew on and come up with maybe even something bigger than what we were thinking.
Sure.
All of that is great, but a rebuild, a rebrand is better because if this is your home or this is your castle that you've already built, you've lived in it. You've lived in there for a while. You know what you don't like. You know what you do like. You know you have a more focused, pointed target than you did when you first started.
Sure, but so are you saying that a rebuild rebrand is the house that they're taking a window out and putting a new window in?
Yeah.
So
right?
so our language
didn't like that window.
Our language is a little bit different then.
Oh, what do you mean?
So I think I love where you're going.
Okay.
This is kind of taking it out.
Yeah.
Rebuild rebrand is starting from scratch. What you're talking about is where you go on to one of our like maintenance packages and you update your site over time, where we can go into the home page and redo it and then add little by little. Rebuild is where you take everything off the table and build from scratch. So,
but you still go in knowing what worked for you before.
Yeah, totally. So you're like, it's kind of like reskinning.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to make sure, because in the castle analogy, it could be confusing, because I said rebuild is where you take everything off the table, and in your version, you said a rebrand and rebuild. It's great because you might already have your house and you're just adding to it.
Oh, no. Sorry. Then that was my fault. I didn't mean to confuse anybody by that. It is like you are starting all the way over, but you already had home ownership before.
Sure.
Right? So you started somewhere, and this isn't like a fresh business where somebody says, well, where do you want to go? You say the answer, and they say, okay, well, where were you before? You don't have an answer. You don't have anything to compare that up against. Now you do. Now you have a benchmark. You have something totally brand new, but this totally brand new thing is built off of this idea that you already implemented. So you know where you want to make...
Well, you have your baseline.
Yeah, you know where you want to make the biggest improvements. You know what parts you dislike the most about what you had to begin with.
Well, and even better, sorry to keep cutting you off, but
fine.
even better, you have all your customers and members that are telling you what you want. Did you know the best way to make money on Amazon is reading reviews for products like yours?
Wait, say that one more time.
The best way to make money on Amazon is to look at products like yours and look at the reviews.
So
because
that you make a better one?
People will review the products and tell you what's bad about them.
Right.
And so you take all the bad stuff. Oh man, this should have had a handle.
Yeah.
That, I don't know, the gold trim wore off in the dishwasher.
Yeah.
So you make those updates to your product to make it better based off of other people's reviews, and you can make your product superior.
So if you want to take that and do something with that and make a website that says, hey, I sell on Amazon, I don't know why you would want to do that, but we'll do it for you.
Oh, you should actually. Amazon takes so much money.
That was supposed to be a joke, but okay.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, Amazon's great, and we've made money on Amazon selling stuff, other businesses, whatever. And,
did you have a website for that though?
No, we didn't.
That's what I mean.
I would have done a website, because then we get our market following on Amazon, but then they might go to our website. I won't say the name of the company we had. They go to the website, check it out, and if you do things the way we do things, you'll have a membership base where they can get more content, more free stuff, recipes, whatever it might be for your product. You can upsell them on membership stuff.
Yeah.
Like over time, hey, like you bought the one product, now let's get you into something long term.
Yeah.
You can upsell them. Also, if they buy the original product from you instead of Amazon, then you get all the money. I mean, that's the benefit. The only downside is you have to match with that shipping. You know what I mean? Like if I'm looking a product up on Amazon and then I go to their site and it's like, yeah, you're going to get this in a week, I'd rather have it in 2 days and spend the same amount. So either undercut Amazon and charge less with longer shipping, you might get those people still.
Right. I actually, now that you say that, have gone through that exact scenario a number of times.
Yeah, totally.
Man, that's hilarious. Okay, well, yeah, so when should we be thinking of rebuilding a site? Like what constitutes that time for me?
Yeah, well, I like what you were saying about rebuilding the site, and rebuilding in this case, the emphasis on the meaning you have something and then you're building it up again. And we kind of consider this like skinning, like reskinning what you have and improving it. We actually just did this for a yoga company who has a membership site, and they're pretty big, and but it was built by them. So awesome, like it was super awesome that they were able to build this platform. grow it, prove concept, make money doing it, and now they come to us saying, hey, we're ready to get to the next level. Like we have all these complaints from our members that want all this new stuff, but we just don't know how to deliver it. This is where culture comes in from last week. We have this culture that we want to build where we want to look professional, do things the right way, where form is really important, but also elegance and self-image and loving yourself and all this stuff. But the original website didn't portray that. It was very gray and not colorful and like hard edges. The stuff that designers would love to go over to figure out how to make this thing fluid and feel good. And so they came to us, we rebuilt everything. This was a rebuild because they wiped the slate clean. They took what they liked from the site, which was all of their content, but they're like, we want to reskin everything. So we wiped that off the table and rebuilt everything for them. And it turned out really good because now their members are getting exactly what they want. We're actually building a mobile app for them that extends the website so that they get more out of it, so that they can be on the go. The site's totally mobile optimized, which it wasn't before. So not only do they have the mobile app, they have a mobile optimized site. So you see there's all these different things. And through this process, it's like, when's the best time to rebuild is that question of, well, does it make sense to spend the money on this or not? It always comes down to that, These guys were so moved by how everything looked and how everything operated that we actually got engaged for a secondary project, which was to add live streaming to it. They're like, man, this looks awesome. And so what I'm trying to say is like, it creates ideas, like knowing what's possible. What can we accomplish? What can we accomplish? Well, they couldn't accomplish anything before except for building what they had, and they hit that ceiling. They hit that glass ceiling where they know there's so much more, but they just keep hitting it. And they don't know how to get past it. And so they bring in an agency like ours, we get them past that glass ceiling, and then they realize, oh my God, these people don't have a ceiling. I could do anything. What do I want to do? And that creates, like, when you tell an entrepreneur they could do anything, oh man, like it creates this creativity flow. And now they've introduced live streaming because that's massive. They've been able to monetize off live streaming, so they've increased their revenue. All because they chose to rebrand their website.
Well, I did like the house analogy, but this is starting to feel more like pruning, right? Because you trim down that branch that, it looks strong, but you trim it down and then it grows bigger and better with more branches, more foliage, and it's doing more than it thought it could do in the beginning.
Yeah, and on that analogy, it's also dropping seeds around it and growing trees under, like other trees that, other revenue streams. That's what rebranding does. I mean, what it really does is it allows you to solve for all the things you couldn't solve for before. And only you know what those things are because it's your business, it's your customers, you know what they're missing or what you feel like you're not delivering. And it's finally that time where other people need to come in and get your vision or like turn your vision into a reality. And through that, you'll then be able to, like the rebrand is one thing and it's great in that alone. Partnering with the right agency is important, one that understands marketing and conversion. So not only are you rebranding and bringing out your culture and your brand ethics and all that stuff into your website and breathing new life into it, you're also going to be implementing marketing strategies into it to increase whatever it is you need, conversions typically. So leads, sales, member retention. For the yoga company, it was sales and member retention. That's what they wanted to increase. So we really went above and beyond in that checkout process to ensure that everyone's taken care of. It had this cool feeling to it because that's important, but it also worked really well. It tracked them from step 1 to step 2 so they can so you could track cart abandonment. Really good technique there. Because if they abandon the cart, you still have their information. They haven't bought from you yet. Shoot them an email. Get them to buy. So really cool tactic there that they didn't have before. So increasing revenue. We're able to implement things that retain members, keep them as members, which is essentially giving the members what they want, what they're asking for from a grand scale, which was, I want to be able to find my workouts a lot easier. Like I want to, like the filtering functionality, like they had hundreds, maybe thousands of videos in there. And these guys are no joke. They were going big. And but it was really hard to find content. So and they couldn't figure out how to create this search filter functionality, right? So they're like, here's our issue. They knew their problem. They knew what the solution was, but they didn't know how to create the solution. This is what we deal with all the time.
Okay.
And so we figured out what the problem was. They told us what the solution could be, what they thought the solution could be, and then we took that and architected the proper solution, which was like their solution, but a little bit more to make it even better because we know it's possible.
Right.
And so we implemented that, and members are extremely happy based
Good.
off of that. So it's these things like the rebrand is awesome, but people think too small when it comes to rebrand. It's not just, I'm making a new website.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's like I'm investing into my business to grow that business because my goal, like right now I'm here, my goals are up here. The website's going to get me closer to that goal. And that's really what it's about. And it's not the website alone that's going to get you there. It's a team that you partner with. The team's going to help get you there because they're going to share in that vision. They're going to have your goals in mind. And anything they build is going to have that foundation or going to require that foundation to scale.
Okay. So essentially when it comes to rebuilds and maybe any kind of key focuses that should be in one, they're all pretty unique to each individual owner, aren't they?
Rebuilds are unique in that the brands are always unique. Like it needs to breathe the brand, the culture, all that stuff. But overall, the flow of a website, we've nailed this down. This is what makes us special. We've nailed down the synergy of web design, which is how everything looks, to marketing, which is conversion.
Okay.
And then we're able to bring those two together through development. And so while every site will be different and look different, from a psychological standpoint, they're all essentially doing the same thing, which we talked about a few weeks ago about user journey. And it's really guiding that user through your website and through the buying experience, through the educational experience so that they can get to a point where they can buy without having to talk to someone. But when they're able to talk to someone, they're going to be more educated at the same time and be more excited to talk to someone. And once they do, they're going to be more likely to buy. Because they're educated. They've already had so many questions answered. All they want is a real person to be like, yeah, this is real. This is really what, like, we could do this for you. And we're real. Like, we could do this and or give this to you or provide this product, whatever your business is.
Sure. And
deliver upon it and make you happy. And then even at the same time, after we deliver, we're going to follow up and make sure you continue to be happy.
Right.
We're going to provide that post-purchase service.
That's key that you offer that. That's awesome.
And every business should offer that. You don't think so?
I mean, there was a time where I would say that, but like a Jamba Juice person obviously isn't, hey, does it still taste good? I know you left 10 minutes ago,
Well, no, but that's a good one, because let's say Jamba Juice does do that. I mean, this is actually awesome because we actually take care of franchise businesses. That's one of the places where we excel. So let's say Jamba Juice HQ brings us on and are like, yeah, we want to take care of our franchise businesses a lot better. We want to make sure our franchisees are happier. So they bring us on and they're like, here are all the problems. Here's what will make them happier, the franchisees. And then, we implement, that's not really what this question's about, but we implement all that stuff. And if we talk about the service at the end, putting systems in place so that they actually know who's buying, and that's typically the stuff where you fill out your information, but they're kind of boring stuff that you give your information for. It's like a rewards program or something, and there might be something better out there like how to get healthy eating Jamba Juice or whatever, like something that would get you more excited about it. Like people who drink Jamba Juice, they're not people who go to McDonald's or wherever. Like or maybe they are and they're like, I want to be healthy, so they're like, let me get that Jamba.
Yeah.
That could be that. So the follow up isn't, hey, did that taste good? Well, I hope it did, because we got another one that tastes just as good. But it might be more so increasing revenue, getting more revenue streams in that, oh man, these people are liking this. Let me think about something else we can offer, like when Jamba Juice came out with acai bowls, right? That was a new thing. They could have offered that to all of their patrons that already came in. Hey, yeah, we got acai bowls. Check them out. They're really good. And then that's going to bring more people in because they're excited about it. That's the follow-up. Now, contrast that to, I think I'm just going to do acai bowls, and then you put it on the menu, no one's going to show up
Yeah.
because they don't know about it.
Yeah.
So you should always follow up with your folks that are living in. I mean, you should always make your customers that like living, breathing advocate.
Yeah.
Like number one fan, right? Every single client, prospect, member, owner, customer, whatever.
Yeah.
You should put everything in place to make them your number one fan.
I do agree with that, because just because you made a sale doesn't mean you're done selling.
Oh, no way.
Never.
Well, yeah, second money is always easier than first money.
Yeah, it's easier, but it's not impossible to lose either. And the more you show that you care and the more follow-up that you do, the more of a number one fan you'll have for more of a time.
Well, yeah, but you can't get that second money if you never communicate.
True. True.
So
I do stand corrected. That's pretty awesome. I wasn't thinking of it like that.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking of it like that. Okay, so rebranding a site, I'm trying to figure out when the best time is. I decided the best time is now. I figured out what my focus is. I know where my weak points are. I know where my strong points are. I have that all put together in a document, and I'm ready to talk to an agency, and not just any agency, your agency.
Yeah.
Now that I'm doing that, and I've already put 90 days in my head as to how much time I should be expecting to take on average, do I just go with everything at the end of 90 days? Do I take a segmented approach? Like, what's the best way to do this?
It's really what your business goals are. That you could take both approaches. So like, you could go and just do the whole project at once, and we've talked about this before, so I won't go into massive detail about it.
Well, you should, because we talked about it on a live, and not everybody was there for that.
Okay, you're right. Okay, yeah. So the benefit of working with Mintun Media is that we operate with Scrum or on Scrum, and we're able to bring functionality to market a lot sooner. Whereas with most agencies, they do the waterfall approach, where with typical agencies, it's like they say it's going to start here, there's all this stuff you got to do, and then it ends here at 6 months, or maybe it's 4 months. They're thinking it's going to go fast. But
versus
all this,
Scrum?
Yeah. So versus Scrum. So what happens is you don't see anything. You might have approvals for design throughout, and then maybe get updates like through email. Hey, we finished this, we finished that, we finished this. But you don't really get to see anything until the edits phase, which is like month 4 or month 5. And so all this stuff goes by, and then you're like, dang, like this isn't what I wanted. It happens all the time. In fact, it happened to us before we went to Scrum because the clients weren't a part of the process. So we saw an issue, which is what most business owners should do. You see an issue and you figure out a way to fix it, and we did. That's how we fixed it. So the difference is, agency A, you're 4 months in, and then you see it and you're like, dang, that's not what I want. So now they have to start over with what you do want and then create it. So now you're like 6 to 9 months in. Whereas with us, and you haven't launched anything. They like launching stuff all at once. You like it or you hate it, we're going to go live, whatever. Sometimes what happens to our clients is their previous developers are like, I don't want to work with this client because they're changing everything too much, and that whole thing happens, and now you have a client that's like, I have a half-finished project, I don't like where it's at. That happens all the time. Conversely, you have a company that runs on Scrum, and so we have very specific deliverables every sprint. So our sprints are 1 to 2 weeks, depending on project, or it's project to project based. It's 1 or 2 weeks. So at the end of 2 weeks, we have a deliverable that we can show you. Either it's a design that's complete, it's part of a design that's complete, or it's a web page that's complete. Either way, you're able to click through, you're able to see things, you're able to see the direction, and then you can say, oh, I actually thought it was going to be like this, or whatever it might be. But they're a part of the process. It's very collaborative.
Yeah.
And what makes this even better is because those items are actually deliverable at that time. The client could say after a month and a half, when they have their homepage done and maybe a product and services page, they might say, dang, this is looking awesome.
Yeah.
This happens all the time.
Yeah.
This looks awesome. I want to take this to market. Can we take this live and maybe have all my other pages still on the site so I don't lose SEO juice or whatever. Link juice, I think is what it's been called in the past.
There you go.
I don't want to lose all that, but I want these new pages. Yeah, man, like let's do it. Let's take it live. Because to us, let's make money on what you're spending money on.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
So we take it to market faster, and then so we got 2 pages done. So now the next page comes in 2 weeks later. Yeah, this looks great. Or maybe it's 2 pages done by that time. Those look great. I have edits to one, but the other one, let's take that live.
Yeah.
And then they could take it live in the sequential approach,
Okay.
which is great. So the project's still 4 to 5 or 3 to 4 months together, but in like month 1 or by the end of month 1, you'll likely have some functionality to release, which is what makes the difference. You can come to market with limited functionality at month 1 versus coming to and being fully done after 3 months, because we're more efficient, we work faster, we get more direction, or you go live after 6 to 9 months with the other guys. Because of all those issues with the waterfall approach, it makes it very hard to, I guess, deliver on where your business is at that time. Your business will be in a very different place even 3 months in. Like, think about where your business will be at the beginning of the year. It's going to be in a way different place than it is right now.
Very true.
And the project has to follow along that scope. I mean, we're working on a mobile app right now for a cosmetics company. And even already, the design was all approved and they loved it, and we're starting development. They're seeing things, and already they're like, yeah, we actually want some changes on here. Actually, it created extra scope for the project because they wanted to keep everything still, but make some more changes because they knew that their members deal with things a little bit differently now. After seeing the flow, they're like, actually, we've noticed after, we're a month and a half in, we've noticed that they use these things differently. And we've gotten some feedback, so we would like to add to this or change it. And so we're willing to change things, meaning like we could take this one piece of functionality out and add this new one in. That's fine, no scope creep there, works solidly. Or, hey, we want to keep that thing here, but we want to add this other thing actually right before it. That's going to be scope creep, and you'll get another project, but we can still do it.
Yeah.
That other company won't do it. They'll be like, no, we need to come to market first, we need to finish everything, and then we'll add that on at the end. So you're going live with something you don't really want, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So that's a rebuild. Wow, that went down the path.
Yeah, no,
but
still.
that was a rebuild. And then there's the option of kind of like piecing together the build. Like if you want to move a little bit slower, then you would do something like one of our priority packages, where you get a set amount of hours per month, and then we just start improving the website over time. Let's say you're like, yeah, I know I want a new homepage, and I know I want to add my various services to the site, and I want those to be their own pages with a parent page, basically like a products and services page, and then under that you have your specific services.
Right.
For us to be like UX UI design, web development, marketing and conversion, advertising, that kind of stuff. So we could do that over time if you want to move slower. So we attack the homepage first, and that might take 5 of the 15 hours or whatever, however much of a package you buy. And so you could do that page and then another page and so on. So you can move slower. So that's kind of that example of, I can't really use your tree one, but that was a good one, but I don't know how I can make that work. Yeah. But like with the house, you got your house made out of blocks, and then you take out the window, and then you add in a much nicer, bigger window. It's like fixing up your own house. Like we just redid all our windows in our house. And so we took all the windows out, added all new windows in. We didn't rebuild the whole house.
True.
We didn't reskin the whole house.
True.
As we're calling it.
True.
We just replaced the windows, and that's what the maintenance priority or the priority packages are for. Is for allowing you to move a little bit slower, but still get what you want out of it.
Yeah. Well, guys, if you're thinking of rebranding or just a simple facelift, whatever your project is, if you're ready to ramp up and get set for the upcoming year, we want to hear from you. Give us a call, 866-543-9988, or
reach us at mintunmedia.com. I'm not going to spell it because it's right there.
Media.com. And yes, it's right here.
Well,
For
see
more
you later.
information, give us a call, reach us at our website, and you can find more of this on the next episode of The Mint Condition.